Good morning and welcome to another one of Drew's book reviews. So today's book review is going to be on Jim Butcher's Proven Guilty. As you know, Harry Dresden, if you've been watching my other reviews, is the only practicing wizard in Chicago. Recently, as we know from the last book, he was made a warden, so he's basically a member of the Wizarding Secret Police. Now, he didn't actually want the job of warden, but times are desperate, and the wizards are being decimated, destroyed in this war with the Red Court vampires that, of course, Harry started himself, if we go back a few books. And now he's been drafted in to become a warden. And the book starts off with this scene where this young man, a 16-year-old boy, is being executed because he has been found guilty of practicing black magic. Now, Harry himself finds himself to be quite sickened with this. He is disturbed by what is happening, that one so young would be executed for these crimes. And his difficulty lies in the fact that as a warden, he is now actually responsible for bringing these warlock wizards to justice, irregardless of how old these wizards might be and how much opportunity they might have to have a better life and turn away from the dark arts and dark magic. So he's finding it really hard to struggle to balance the necessity of the magical law enforcement with the morality and ethics of what is right and wrong. So this starting off scene in the book where he's having to be a part of this really kind of sets the stage and parallels a situation that later comes upon him in this book. So what's happening basically within this book is in Proven Guilty is that the there's these creatures from the fairy realm who are basically bringing to life the monsters and creatures from the horror movies, and they feed upon fear, and they're coming to life at this horror movie convention called SplatterCon. And lo and behold, one young woman by the name of Molly, she happens to be the daughter of one of Harry's good friends, Michael, who is basically a holy knight who's out fighting demons himself. She gets caught up in all this, and the story of the 16-year-old boy at the beginning who gets executed for practicing black magic really parallels the situation that this girl comes across, and also his own situation in which he himself, as a young man, was put on trial for breaking the magical laws, and soon discovered that Molly here is also guilty of breaking some magical laws. So it's really interesting the contrast. I love the contrast and parallel that was set up with that, in which we see Harry dealing with the morality of an individual he doesn't even know, and now having to balance his own sense of morality of right and wrong with his responsibilities as a warden for the Wizards. And I just thought that was really well done and really enjoyable. Probably my favorite aspect of this particular book. One of the other things that's really interesting about this, and we see this throughout the rest of the series as well, is there seems to be this kind of interesting dynamic playing out between one of the characters by the name of Father Forthill. Basically, he's running a church, which is this sanctuary for anybody that needs it, whether that's wizards in trouble or victims of supernatural entities. And Father Forthill has always been one taking those to his into his church and caring for them. Father Forthill really believes in the power of God, and how all the magic in the world is from God and supernatural. It's from the evil, from the bad side of things, all the evil supernatural. And the contrast between Harry, who's basically this atheistic wizard, who is essentially using the very powers of God, if you will, and within his world, and when he does what he does, that he's the atheist guy. And then you got Father Forthill, who is the non-magic user, who's constantly preaching God at him and about his powers being from God. So just kind of interesting to see that dynamic play back and forth between these two characters. One that I'm certainly and really enjoying within that. And I expect it to continue throughout the rest of the Harry Dresden series. So those are just some of my thoughts on Proven Guilty. Overall, as usual, Harry Dresden is a good series, good books. Definitely don't forget to stay tuned. Up next, we will be reading White Knight. So this is actually the last Harry Dresden book I've got on my shelf. Looks like I'm going to have to go shopping soon because there is more to the series, but this will be the last one for a bit. So stay tuned for White Knight, and thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. As always, I will have links to all my social media platforms in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have yourself a great day. We'll see you next time on the next episode of Drew's Book Reviews.